Good evening. The word of the day is support. Now, my dad may have told this story before, but I don't think he would have taken it in the direction I'm going to take it. I never did get to meet my grandfather on either side of the family, but tonight I'm going to talk about my grandfather on dad's side of the family. He had a lot of brothers, and I got to meet a good many of them, thankfully. One of them in particular, when Caleb and I were little, was over here a lot. He had cows that in our pasture, and they shared the pasture, and he just enjoyed getting out and doing in the yard with Dad. He'd go and work the garden and drive through the pasture and count the cows, and he was always all up in our business. One day, Dad was out there fixing the barn. He was restructuring it, giving it more support beams. The barn was getting older, and it needed the extra support. And it was getting to be summertime, and summertime means thunderstorms around here, and usually bad weather and old buildings does not mix very well. Well, this uncle, at that time in his life, he was driving his little pickup here, there, and everywhere all over creation. He drove his little old pickup out down to the pasture, opened the gate, drove on in straight into the barn. Dad had the gate wide open because he had a tractor in there. He backed his truck in and came over, sat on the tailgate, and he said, "What on earth are you putting those extra beams up for? Why does this barn need that? This barn's just fine. It'll be all right." And Dad said, "Well, it's getting older and it needs the extra support." Well, that uncle must have jinxed us, because not a week later there was a tornado that came through the area, and there was some damage to the barn. We think that if Dad hadn't put those support beams in, it probably would have fallen. Sometimes people need some extra support. I talked about why I wanted to be a teacher last night. And one thing that I didn't realize teaching at the high school level is how much support you have to give your students. You have to give them those extra beams to help hold them up in hard times, like the coronavirus. A lot of students are struggling right now. I've had to give a lot of extra support that I may not have had to have given if it hadn't been for this virus in the last few days. But I've found that giving those students those tools and teaching them how to use the tools for themselves to support themselves in the future, it's been fun. Teaching them how to stand up for themselves and what they need has been interesting and challenging, but it's been fun. It's one of those little things that I talked about yesterday. Some of those little lessons and little moments. Sometimes people just need a little extra support to have a great day.